2, 1. And good evening and welcome to Anime-Zing Radio
Hello,
here
everybody.
on YouTube. I am your host, Doug Engler. Our co-host, Darren, will be joining us in a little bit. Our other co-host, Angela, is not available tonight. Last I saw, she was at a Red Sox game at Fenway Park. So hopefully she's
Nice.
having a good time out there. We want to let everybody know that Anime-Zing Radio is brought to you tonight by Home Circle Media for the latest and greatest in anime gear, everything from pens, pencils, stationery, and officially licensed art books. Be sure to check out homecirclemedia.com today or look for them at an upcoming convention near you. We're also brought to you tonight by Casey Fox for all of your artwork, cosplay, and photography needs. Be sure to check out Casey Fox, that's KAYCIFOXX, on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We're also brought to you by Triple S Lawn Care. If you live in the Raleigh, North Carolina, tri-state area, and you need lawn care, be sure to check out Triple S Lawn Care on Facebook. Get in touch with Darren, and he'll be sure to hook you up as best as he can. Once again, welcome to Anime-Zing Radio. I am really excited. We have got an amazing guest, big special show here, special Saturday night shows that we normally don't do. Really excited to bring on the owner,
CEO.
The brains behind a fantastic convention that we are a proud sponsor of. Please welcome Jennifer Perez from Puchi Con.
Hello, everybody, and I have a special guest here who's been hiding. The mascot. Come in the That is Senna. Where are you? I'm trying to show you. So, if you see all our flyers and such, it's her mug as different video game and anime characters. It basically, Puchi Con grows with her. She is the inspiration of Puchi Con, I would say.
That is awesome. It's such a pleasure to get to meet you. I don't think you can hear me, but...
I can.
Ah, sweet.
You want to be on my lap for a little bit before you go to bed? She has a very strict 8-ish p.m. bedtime. You want to say anything? Like the special panel you're doing or anything? Hey, you have to talk in front of people at the panel. You can't be shy. What happened? What? Okay, so Senna is going to be hosting a manga art panel Saturday at 12 and Sunday. A chibi panel and a manga art panel.
Awesome.
Yeah, so she's a little shy, and we got to practice with her when she's in front of everybody. But she's been taking classes since the pandemic with Misako Rocks. I'm not sure if you or any of
I don't know, but I do have a little bit of chibi art.
Oh, how cute!
And this is the actual autograph I got from Caitlin Glass, who voices Retori in the anime Show by Rock. So
very nice.
This was a flip piece. That's how she appears when the band sings, and that's how she appears through most of the rest of the show. So
okay, I have to check that one. I don't think I've seen that one.
When you said chibi, I'm like, this is within hand's reach, and so we know the chibis, and they are adorable. So I'm looking forward to your panel.
You want to show one of your chibis, your recent chibi art? Yeah, so since inception, she's always been into. Well, basically, I used to be a teacher back in the day, so I still have that instilled in me, and that's why I like the convention itself. It's still very all ages friendly. Like we do have 18 plus, 21 plus panels, but I still like to have, a lot of panels and fun entertainment and relaxed time for families. So I would teach her, I would do art with her. I would teach her math. I would take her to libraries and science. And she got really into art, like even since preschool, like she would draw things from her mind without practicing, and people would, be like amazed by it. So we're like, my friend Erica, which you mentioned, right? She saw Misako Rats was doing a virtual manga art series like every week. So 2 years ago during the pandemic, we had her signed up. So her art has grown even more with her help. So shout out to Misako Rocks if you're ever watching. She's in Texas now, unfortunately, where most of the voice actors and everyone goes. But she helped a great deal.
Oh, definitely. And now for our fans out there who may not know of Puchi Con, or yeah, it's still new to a lot of people. Granted, I've talked about it a ton on the show since we've started working together. But how did Puchi Con start?
So first of all, I know she's gonna be antsy. Show her pick one of her pictures. You wanna show? And then I'll get into it. That's
Not
her
a
one of
problem.
her classes from before.
Oh, that's really cool.
Do you have the one that you did recently that I posted? The last one? Or does Daddy have that one? That's okay. Yeah, so every week there's a theme. Like it'll be like, oh, one was an Easter bunny, one was like that was obviously during the winter time. We'll get back to that. Yeah, so I started years ago going to conventions like New York Comic Con, New York Anime Fest, and such. And I would say like maybe like 10 or 12 years ago, I started Nerdy New Jersey, New York, because I noticed that people after the convention, they wouldn't hang out in real life. They would just talk online, and everyone was, especially in the anime and game community, we could all be a little shy or have some social anxiety. So I try to have like meetups or events that were free to kind of have people, get to know one another in a safe, comfortable space and have fun, like pool parties or barcade or, what have you. And then I started actually doing, what you call it, I started doing a event company from that afterwards, which was Perez Play. So I started doing after convention parties. Like we did a really big one at Bowmore after New York Comic Con, that was featured in Time Out. Then from that, I created Moe Maho Maid Cafe. So I was running the Perez Play, that, my job, my 9 to 5, being a mom, a new mom, and everything. And then, my major goal from doing that was like, I've been to so many conventions and I got things that, I really enjoyed and things that I felt were lacking that, people would appreciate. So I believe in 2018, I thought of, doing Puchi Con, which is Puchi's Petite in Japanese. But even though it's small, or if we continue to grow, which is kind of doubles, hopefully it keeps doubling every con, like the size. I want the intimacy and the closeness of everybody, to keep Puchi petite in a way. So we have a strong focus, let's say, on family, on mental health. We have a lot of mental health panels. I also try to have like cosplay Zumba, like for exercise, and have panels on helping for self-esteem, for cosplay repair, all sizes fit cosplay. I try to have, people of all shapes, sizes, orientations, races be a part of it and be special guests and such. So I really try to make it all inclusive and a really fun, happy space. A lot of people, it's their first con, and they feel really comfortable. And I try my best to like kind of give like good positivity to everyone, and kind of give like with everything going on, especially with the pandemic, everything like a place to feel happy and feel secure. You want to show the picture? You want to go on my lap? Okay. This was the Easter one that she did, since we're almost in Easter here. Easter fairy.
Oh, awesome.
So she'll be teaching well, it's all ages, because like even I can't draw stuff like that. So if anybody
I can't
wants
draw
to
at
learn
all.
it,
So.
I draw stick figures pretty much still. So
Our
Hi,
little logo. And welcome, Darren.
Hi.
Glad that did you finish up the job you had, or?
Yeah, looks like he's closed his curtains, so I'm not even going to try to talk to him.
There you go.
Yep.
And as I mentioned to you earlier, Darren, tonight our guest is Jennifer Perez, the founder, president, creator of Puchi Con that we proudly sponsor in Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, as we were saying, I can't draw. I leave a lot of that up to my wife. My wife is the one who created our logo that I had sent you.
Oh, nice. Okay, I like the new one a lot. It's cute.
I think it came out really nice.
And waiting for Senna to be older to like do graphic design, so she could be the one doing the art. And I'll pay her in Robux, right, Senna? She's fine with Robux money.
Hey, it's easy to negotiate when they're that age. It gets tougher as they get older.
Yeah, but still, it's that, and she also is on a star system, so she gets like credits depending how she does really good in school, and if overall she gets like a little Pusheen cat at the end of the week or whatever if she does really well.
Oh, awesome. Now, PuchiCon, as you said, you have a lot of amazing things that you do there. Mental health is a big thing, especially after the pandemic, where a lot of people, myself included, went through depression and being away from everything, and still a lot of paranoia with somebody has a cough or sniffles or something. I think it's really cool that you're doing a lot of focus on mental health, which I think gets overlooked, especially like in the convention industry, by a lot of bigger cons, because it is such a major thing that affects a lot of the attendees, but I think kind of gets pushed to the side at times.
Yeah, I guess for the entertainment value and such. Like there's even there's a famous cosplayer called Nikki Loba, and Senna has been a part of it, where she actually does meditation with everyone in the room. And she also offers, feedback on times when they felt social anxiety during conventions or other things. She offers examples of animes that have to do with social anxiety. Like what one Senna and I have seen is Komi Can Communicate. Yeah, which I don't know if you heard of it, but the
I
main
already love that
character.
show.
Yeah, so she loves it. She draws her too. So like she'll show examples, and like one example is I like watching shows with my daughter because she's like, "Oh, it should be called Comey doesn't want to communicate." And I'm like, "She can, but she doesn't want to, right?" You can so yeah, and I was like, no, she physically can, because like even her at her age, people don't realize this too, and this is why I try to do mental health for kids too. Kids have anxiety too when they have like a stomach ache, or they're acting like shy, like this. Well, you can talk. Yeah, she doesn't feel comfortable too. So she didn't understand that. She thought she could, but she didn't want to. And I was like, it's like when she sees a bug, like she runs away. She's like terrified of every little bug. Doesn't matter what size, like if it's a fly. And I'm like, you physically can get close to that fly, but your anxiety or you being scared, your body is and your mind is not letting you. So it's, I feel like with anime, especially, that's why I'm so impressed or attuned with Japan and anime. I felt like I've gained a lot of morals or insight or wisdom from them. Like one of my favorites is Clonade, when it showed a lot about family and friendship and understanding and even health. Like my husband has Crohn's disease, and the main character was very sick. So it's something that we related on. Like one was weak in one way and one was strong in the other way, and they kind of like helped each other. And it kind of teaches you that it's okay to be weak. It's okay to lean on others in a society where it's like you always have to be strong and put a face regardless,
Oh yeah.
of anything. And then things like, Chobits. Like obviously you're in love with a Persicom or a robot, but there's a lot of different things that you could learn, I feel, from just Japan in general about respect and being kind to one another. We watch now what's that show? You Can Do It. What's the one with the kids? Old Enough? Old Enough. Yeah, there's a Netflix show called Old Enough where it show kids from like 2 to 6 doing like activities that like going to
like the store and like buying things.
And they'll cross the street and do all this crazy stuff. And so it's like here, like I couldn't really trust her to do that around here, obviously, but like the crime rate is so low and like everyone's so helpful, like trying to help the kids, like where are you trying to go? So I really always kind of admired that culture and just how loving and caring they are of one of another. And I wanted to convey that obviously with Puchi Con too, to kind of have that atmosphere.
And I think that's really, really cool. And I love the concept that you've done with Puchi Con. The fact that you use your daughter as basically the mascot and everything is awesome. And you have a lot. You've been pretty busy over the past few years. I've looked through a lot of the cool photos and stuff. And you put on 2 shows. We've been focusing a lot on the Pocono show that's going to be coming up in May, which I am really, really excited about being a part of. And you have an amazing guest list already with Jenny Yokobori, Jared Green, Erica Harlacher, Karina Botinger, Sean Chiplock, Aaron Campbell, Josie McCoy. I think there's more, but
Yeah, if you go to PA guest, the whole enchilada is there. Basically, it's hard to fit everyone in the front page, but I try to put everyone in the PA guest page. Also, Lloyd Floyd, which he's like a staple now of PuchiCon. He comes to every convention. He's the man of 1,000 voices. Is the voice of Joker and Luke Skywalker in a lot of video games and cartoons and such. And he's a character. You have to meet him when you go. I'm sure he'll come up to you and start joking around or doing skits with you. Like, oh, I have this crazy idea. He's very animated.
Oh, that's awesome. That'd be a lot of fun.
Oh, Sana says she loves him. So shout out to Lloyd if you're watching.
Yes, looking forward to meeting you. Looking forward to meeting you at Puchi Con. And we actually had Jared Green on the show, or was it? Oh no, we had Aaron Campbell on the show. Yeah, we had Aaron Campbell on the show back in March, and he was a lot of fun to talk to.
Yeah, it's nice. I've even been looking at Twitter, like they have those Twitter spaces now. It's entertaining just hearing the voice actors go back and forth and hearing their experiences and everything and what got them in there and, how hard it is at times for doing the different voices and what they're looking for. So it is pretty fascinating.
And for the fans of PuchiCon out there, if you're new to our show, we are, as you can tell, we're a anime and pop culture based talk show. What we have done for helping to support PuchiCon is we have donated a couple of prizes. One of them is a prize where one lucky fan gets to sit in the guest co-host seat for a future voice actor interview. We are in talks with a few voice actors, but we need to figure out scheduling. In our 8-year history, we've had over 60 different voice actors, everybody from up-and-comers to the well-known names like Monica Rial, J. Michael Tatum, Todd Habercorn. We also have donated for the Masquerade. The overall winner will be a featured guest here on Anime-Zing Radio, where they will sit in the guest seat like Jen is, and we will talk with them about their cosplays, what got them into cosplaying and things of that nature. So we are really excited to be a part of PuchiCon this year, and I am really, really excited. And it's going to be my first time going to a convention at a resort.
Oh,
and
nice. Okay.
You've got some really cool stuff that's associated around the area PuchiCon is in.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's at Camelback Resort. And it's actually the first time they've held a convention. So there's been a lot of growing pains, I guess, on both ends. At first, it was funny because you had to call in for your reservation. And as you know, those in the anime and game community I don't like making calls nowadays, I would say. So I think that was an issue. So we had them make a reservation link. And then just dealing with all the intricacies, obviously, that an anime convention brings. That's not like a wedding, let's say, or a normal reception, but they've been very understanding and helpful during the process. But yeah, there's a water park, there's zip lining, there's archery, there's a ton of restaurants, there's ATVs, there's laser tag, arcade. Anything else I'm forgetting, Sana? By the way, my voice isn't like this. I'm overcoming some kind of wicked sinus infection cold thing, guys.
And we do thank you so much for joining us, knowing that you haven't been feeling the best.
No, I felt bad last week. I'm like, I have to try to make it. And I took every test out of the sun. I don't have COVID. I don't have the flu. I don't have strep. And the doctor's like, yes, something viral. It's none of those things. I'm like, But yeah, it's a lot of fun. You guys could check out camelback.com. And we're actually featured in the events section. PuchiCon's there. We're on the calendar for May 14th and 15th. What happened? Yeah, we're there. You didn't know that? I can show you later.
Darren, did you have any questions? I saw you unmute the mic for a minute.
Nope, not yet. I'm still driving too, so.
Okay.
Yeah, that definitely, keep your eyes on the road. Don't worry about it. The most important thing.
Be safe.
Yes.
I know last week.
I'm
Go ahead,
5
Darren.
minutes. I'm 5 minutes from the house. I'll be there soon.
All right, sounds good. And I know last week Darren felt bad because he was helping move a chicken coop and missed the entire show minus
Oh,
about
man.
5 minutes.
And
And
all part is moving them chicken coops. No, I have no idea.
Yeah. Try moving a 2,000-pound 8x8 chicken coop on a trailer with nothing but ratchet straps and 3.
I can't. I don't want to try.
It took about
Everybody
2.5
has to
hours.
try that. I do love the farm life, and a part of me, I feel like maybe because I love animals and stuff. Though not a fan of bugs, not as bad as her, but I would love to live in the countryside of Japan one day. Maybe that'd be nice.
There's a lot of pretty areas in Japan. I enjoy watching Chris Broad Abroad in Japan because he goes to areas of Japan that most people stay away from. And you don't hear about
the country. Like I love the houses that have the screens that you can just walk in. There's no key, everything, and there's a huge yard, and then you could just everybody knows you in the neighborhood. It's kind of like Encanto in real life. Everyone's everyone's your friend, pretty much. You're friends with all the neighbors and all that. Here I walk out and my neighbor just runs back in the house. We went trick-or-treating the first time we moved here, and it was so awkward because no one had candy because it's like a little community and no one visits, but she lucked out because people were giving her Godiva bars and huge expensive candy bars because they felt bad, but we didn't go trick-or-treating again over here. We're like, nah, I don't think they're used to it.
It can be difficult when you move to a new area and because I have a 4-year-old and a couple of years ago we moved to upstate New York and fortunately my wife is from this area so she knew the good places to go for trick-or-treating and whatnot. Unfortunately, COVID happened shortly after the move and I think we got one trick-or-treating 2019 and then 2020 nothing, and last year it was rainy and still managed to get out for a little bit, but
yeah, we usually go to malls, or sometimes we're close to Fort Lee. I don't know if you're familiar with that. One of the conventions that we did last time was in Fort Lee. We actually am not doing it now because we've grown so much, which is a good thing. But a lot of the little shops around, they're really good with having special events for Halloween and candy and all that. You want to say something? You just want to hug? Okay.
Anytime you want to say anything, go ahead and speak right up.
Yeah, do you want to raise your hand? You don't have to be shy. She's very outspoken when she feels comfortable. At first, she's a little shy.
It's okay. We're
That's
not
why I have
scary
to practice
people.
her panel before. Pretend there's I'm gonna do a bunch of cardboard people. Okay, go ahead. Teach us how to draw.
And I can speak from experience. It is weird when you're sitting up in front of a room of people. I've only done a couple of panels, but something like this is easy for me because I'm basically in my living room and I don't see the entire audience of everybody who tunes in. I get to see comments and stuff on the side. We have a lot of wonderful listeners who tune in. We have the ghosts who come in, watch, but don't associate so much. But
she's gonna bring me a better light source.
I think we all could use that. I mean, I have a little light here, but I don't have one of those big ring lights that.
Yeah, I had one that her and I actually became VTubers during the pandemic for a little bit. So we actually have our own VTube characters that we barely use nowadays. But I bought a little ring light for that and that died right away. I don't know if it's that powerful, that one. She has the switch. I don't know. I had this this light that's supposed to replicate the sun at one point that I was using for light. But yeah, during the pandemic, I had like panels, and then there's this one panel going back to mental health. There's this pharmacist called Dean that he also does panels for mental health. He comes almost every con, and also like cosplay survival. So he does a mix of that and talking of about that and transportation. He does so much. He's well known in like the cosplay community. Dean Aquino, like of what cosplay to go to, what transportation, and he talks about mental health and COVID. So he's gonna come back.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so he's a staple of Puchi Con. What happened? Okay, good night, baby. You wanna say bye to everybody?
Have a good night.
Love you. Thank you. You could go now. Bye. She's always loved being on TV since she was little. Like we do unboxings and stuff. I don't know if you've seen them on Instagram. Like we did a Pusheen unboxing, and every box had the same exact Pusheen in it. We're like, what the heck? We got hosed. It was the same figure.
I've done a few of those myself with the Crunchyroll crates.
Okay.
And, stuff like that. So I've done a few unboxings. At some point when I have the money, I kind of want to do a comparison with a bunch of different anime boxes, which I think would be fun, comparing like Akibento with Crunchyroll crate with
Loot crate. I know Loot anime it is, right?
Loot crate is the Crunchyroll crate. And then we had another one that I had gotten stuff from. I actually have a few figures. Some of their boxes were pretty lewd, though, so I couldn't show most of the stuff that came out of that.
Yeah, back when I used to do the events, I would give out loot crates, like for the best cosplayer and stuff, like the smaller events. They were always handy.
And you're going to have a masquerade at Puchi Con.
Yes, that is correct. On Saturday, the exact time I would have to look into. We're still like doing the last tweaks of the schedule. Brian Sapinski, who's the director, always likes to make it very fair. And he's a math teacher, so everything's mathematical. Has to have the right amount of panels, the right genre, the right amount. Everything's equal. So he's a very much a perfectionist, but in the way like he likes to give everyone a fair chance in every genre, so everyone's happy. Like there'll be like board game panels and 21 plus, and then kids stuff, and then anime and karaoke and screenings and like a little bit of everything.
And
a good balance.
And we are excited to see the cosplays because our focus, I was for a long time a Boston-based person, now living in upstate New York, basically across the lake from Burlington, Vermont. So my knowledge of conventions is basically all of New England, New York, and been to Katsucon once. I've never been to a convention in Pennsylvania. So I'm really excited about being able to get out, meeting new artists, new cosplayers, vendors, people that probably haven't connected with or seen at many conventions up here in the New England area. We frequent conventions like Anime Boston, Kineticon, Northeast Comic Con, things of that nature. So we're familiar with, like, we see a lot of the same faces. So the fact that we're able to get out and see some new people and hopefully make some new connections and find more people that we can highlight here on the show following PuchiCon.
Yeah, for sure. And we are lucky that we sometimes like we have people that come like from Ohio or Virginia, like really far from my little con, so I'm like in awe. Or even people that go, I have yet to go to Katsucon, Otakon, like the really big ones. New York Comic Con and Anime New York City, I always go. Like I love those two. And Castle Point Anime Convention as well. My group, I don't know if you saw, they went to Fan Philly Expo. So it's a mix of new people, like first timers, some of like the heavy duty cosplayers with like the ones that have Hulkbusters, and then casual cosplayers, which is more like my daughter and I. We do more casual, like home type of closet stuff. And I'm all about, like have fun with cosplay. Rather you buy it, you make it, you find something in your closet and put it together. That's creativity, all of it. So you gotta still be imaginative. So have fun with it.
And we take pride in trying to showcase cosplayers regardless of skill level. We've had cosplayers on who I have friends Hatake and Sahara who have won, best in show at multiple cons. They can only enter masquerades in the expert division because of all the awards they've won.
Oh
They've
wow,
got,
okay.
I think they have like 3D printers for props. They do full body
Oh
armor
wow.
and stuff. And we've had cosplayers on who buy their costumes, just do it for fun, but they do such a good job of it that we enjoy showcasing cosplay as a whole.
Yeah, and then there's
And
the whole, acting piece of it, like the ones who really emulate the character and go all out, or even like I had like a little pop-up convention, and one girl dressed like Shiaki from what is it, Love is War, and she knew the whole dance, and she was so charismatic that she won an award. So it's like there's so many aspects of it that are important, you know.
oh yeah.
Chica is very unique.
And I am going to be doing my. I'm hoping to have everything in time. If I do, I will be debuting a new cosplay at Puchi. If not, it'll be Anime Boston.
Oh, nice. Okay. I
And
look
it's
forward to it. I'll try to see if I have time to fit it in with all my crazy running around. I try to, especially with my daughter. We do little couple cosplays. We were what do you call it? Friday Night Funkin' characters last convention. So
yeah, we're gonna. I am looking at Miss Kobayashi from Dragon Maid.
oh, nice. Okay.
So I'm going to be cross-playing, and my wife is looking at Hibiki from How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift.
Oh, is that the main girl, the blonde hair girl?
Yeah.
I cosplayed her actually in one of the first conventions I did, or maybe the Secaucus one. I
Oh,
can
that's
share that
awesome.
later. See, that's one of those. I like to be comfortable too, right? I can't wear heels really that much anymore. And I don't want to. I like to be comfortable and cute. So that's like a really nice cosplay for that. You
Oh
can
yeah,
still have fun with it.
And my wife really enjoys working out. She goes to the gym like she's been sick this week, but typically she goes to the gym 3 to 5 days a week.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And so she does work out, and she knows a lot about the exercise and stuff like that. So we're going to make some prop dumbbells and things of that nature to bring around with us. And should be a lot of fun. It's been a while since I've actually cosplayed. My last time I cosplayed as Natsu Dragneel from Fairy Tale at Anime Boston.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But I didn't
but my
shave
husband
anything.
He rarely cosplays. He's more of a gamer, but he's into anime and stuff. But he actually works for Gamigo, which is a German gaming company. But he's worked
that's
for
sweet.
Ziff Davis and Resolution Games, so he's like pretty well known in that sector.
So for the gaming side of things, is it more board games, RPGs, or video?
It's more video games, but he was part of. He actually won an award, so he's like now award winning for that. Oh my god! Now my brain, especially with the sinus. It was a RPG game, a board game that was in virtual reality. Demio. So he was actually the PR manager for it. So he won an award for it. So that was like the first board game as a virtual reality thing. So it was huge. So if you go to his LinkedIn, Daniel Perez is like award-winning PR manager. I'm like, get out of here with that stuff. But yeah, when the powers combined, we're huge otakus.
Oh yeah, my wife and I fit under that bill. And people are always kind of laugh at our story. We met at Bakuretsu Con in Colchester, a really small convention up in Vermont, because she made 2 full fursuits of Pokemon.
Okay.
And we became friends. Fell in love playing Minecraft. She lived up in northern New York. I lived in Cape Cod. Got married dressed as Pokemon at a Comic-Con by a comic artist.
That's awesome.
Photobombed by Barry Boswick for our wedding photo, and had Mickey Dolenz sing at our reception, and our kids are named after anime characters, and our pets are named after anime characters.
Senna's also named after what is it, Tomodachi Friends? There was this girl named Senna, blonde hair with a butterfly in her hair. We have figures of her everywhere, so
Oh,
My husband and I, we've known each other since high school.
Hagani, is that with Senna and we have no friends? Is that the show?
Tomodachi, let me see.
I
Tomodachi
think
friend, something like that.
she has blonde hair, little blue like
Little
butterfly pin in her
butterfly.
hair.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I really like that name. I've heard like Sienna or variations of it. People still call her Cena, like she's a warrior princess. I'm like, no, it's Senna. But yeah, like the geekiest thing I guess for our wedding is we had Angry Birds thrown at us instead of rice. And
that's awesome.
and then there was this group, Gaguero, which was a gypsy rock band that played for us, which unfortunately they don't perform anymore, which makes me sad. But they used to do Sakura Fest and stuff like that. It was one of our favorite bands, and he performed live for us.
Oh, that's amazing. It's always fun to hear these stories and stuff. But we're kind of getting off topic of Puchi Con.
I know. It's all involved with geeky otaku culture, so it's all right.
That's what we do here. We get sidetracked all the time. And outside of some amazing voice acting guests, you have a lot of really good cosplay guests as well.
Yeah, we have Shannon Noel, who's also does noodle crafts. She's also a vendor. Like if you look at some of her cosplays, they're very detailed with like 3D printing and a bunch of like wings and stuff going on. We have Torihime cosplay, Cemetery cosplay, Allison Burbs, which they're the cosplay judges, and then we have Milk Pink Maid Cafe as well, which is the maid cafe that will be joining us. And a lot of the panelists, you guys might have heard of, which we're going to announce soon. And there's still some voice actors we haven't announced yet, so that's coming. But it should be a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm excited to meet a lot of the voice actors because I'll be honest, looking at like being able to go to so many different conventions, it was wonderful having Aaron Campbell on the show with us, but I don't think I've personally met any of the voice acting guests that you have announced. Jared Green, I know I'm going to see at another convention this year. I can't remember if he was announced for Kineticon or Anime Boston. I know he's going to be at one of them. But like the guest list already is amazing, and I'm so interested to see who else you announce.
Yeah, thank you. The only one I've met is Lloyd. Everyone else is new for me too. And the cool thing about Puchi Con, when I say it's like intimate and stuff, that's like because it's not so huge and we try to make it more interactive and close, you actually could kind of talk to them a little bit more and kind of connect with them a little bit more. Like there's one Paul St. Peter that one of the volunteers, Paul calls him his grandson, like they bonded somehow.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like he does characters in Kingdom Hearts, and he's also the voice of Master Fu, and what do you call it? The Miraculous Ladybug. And we also have had Bryce Papenbrook before, which she's Aaron and Kirito, and also what do you call it? Cat Noir. So we're very lucky that even though we're small, we have like such amazing guests, and people come to our con, and people sponsor us like you.
And if you're ever looking for guests for future events, I've talked with a lot of the voice actors we've talked to. They all want to get out to every con they can, so they're always like, if you know conventions, give them our name. We want to go. We want to meet the fans. And I feel bad because one of my favorite guests I've ever had on the show, and I would definitely put him top 5 favorite guests of the whole Anime-Zing radio history, is Anthony Bowling. And we were very fortunate enough to have him join us a couple of weeks ago for our anniversary show. He popped in for about a half hour just to be a part of it. And I've unfortunately missed the chance twice to meet him at New England area conventions. One year, he was at Bakuretsu Con, and we couldn't afford to make that convention. Like a year or so later, he was at Anime-Zing, and my daughter Evie was born 6 days before the con, so we weren't able to make that one. We almost went, but some stuff happened, and so we just didn't have the energy to go up and see him. But amazing person. I know he loves being a part of conventions, meeting the fans and things. And then I think it was Macy Ann Johnson we had on the show, And at the time that we had her on the show back, I think it was last July, she had yet to go to a convention, let alone as a guest or an attendee. So, some names just throwing out there for you for consideration for future events, whether you can get them for PuchiCon New Jersey or anything like that. But
for sure, probably for TeenX, there might be maybe one spot available. Our direct, what do you call it? Our guest relations director is really good. Like, she already pretty much has the lineup for both of them. But sometimes things happen. People fall through, or they have prior commitments or something like that. So we always tell people, even with vending, everything, there's always a wait list. It doesn't hurt. PuchiCon guest relations at gmail.com is her email. So you could always, send them to her, or if anyone's watching and wants to be a guest at one of our future conventions, we're always welcome that.
And it's I'm like I said, I am really excited about coming to PuchiCon this year and looking forward to extending our sponsorship to the TNIC convention as well, if that's something you want to work together with, off the air. But I am excited
For
about
sure.
being
I agreed yes, but I don't know how formal it was with all the other things. But I think it's been a lot of fun.
And we hope that we've been doing you proud with the amount of promotions and stuff we've been doing. Every show talk about PuchiCon and trying to keep up with everything going on. I'm excited about having you on to talk about the event. And I not knowing a lot about, like, I'd heard of PuchiCon, but didn't know a ton of information about it. Seeing pictures and a little bit of video from past events and stuff like that, you really put on one heck of a event. And everybody, like, the videos I've seen have always seemed very positive. People are having a good time. So that's a sign of putting on a quality event, and hats off to you for all the hard work that you've done thus far.
Oh, thank you. I have a really great team too. Like, I try, one thing is, like, when I have anyone volunteer or work with me, I want them, of course, to be talented and good at what they do, but having, like, a good heart and, like, being an overall good person. And I want to kind of emulate that and have it kind of brings the same type of audience too, right? It kind of attracts it like a magnet. Because I don't know if you've ever been to conventions where some of the volunteers are kind of like snippy sometimes, or not as helpful, or not as warm. I want to give that very warm, welcoming vibe. And there are times where sometimes the volunteers might feel a little anxious or shy. We're like, that's okay. We go move them to a different department. We always try to work with people, because everyone, I myself have ADHD. I have anxiety here and there as well. So I believe everyone has their own strengths, and you could play on that and see what's best for them and let them shine in, whatever they do. So I don't think that should deter anyone to not hire or work with someone, because of that, like an ailment or a disability or anything like that, or being on the spectrum.
And pre-COVID, I was averaging between 10 to 15 conventions a year, whether big, small, whatnot. And from everything you've described to me about PuchiCon, it makes me think about AAC, another anime convention where actually you had first saw your post looking for sponsorship and stuff. Because that is I consider it like a small to mid-sized convention, very, personal. You're able to get together with people, spend time with the guests and stuff. If you don't feel as rushed, like an autograph line, you don't feel like you're getting 2 minutes, 30 seconds and then shoved out of the way because there's 300 people behind you and everything. And you get a chance to actually, like, talk to the guests, talk to other cosplayers or attendees and the vendors and stuff. And these are the type of cons, as a lot of you guys out there watching know, I love these small to medium-sized conventions because they are a very homey feel. Speaking from the point of view of a vendor, if you can find a con where you feel like you're reuniting with family and stuff of that nature, that makes your experience 10 times better at these events. And, some of my fondest memories are going to small, mid-sized cons, either with my wife tabling to sell her art, or just as press, or just as an attendee. When you're able to connect with these people in a more comfortable atmosphere. You're not feeling as rushed. You're not as overwhelmed. Like Anime Boston, which we're going to be going to 2 weeks after Puchi Con, is a huge venue where, pre-COVID they were doing 25 to 30,000 people in the weekend.
Okay.
And so we are like, I am beside myself excited. We got press for the first time since 2015. Really looking forward to covering AB for all of our fans out there. But, PuchiCon, we are looking forward to being a part of. And from our table, we are planning on doing some live broadcasts so that our fans out there can get a taste of what's going on at PuchiCon. We'll have a camera set up. We're going to be doing a test run next weekend, actually, from Vermont Sci-Fi and Fantasy Expo up in Essex, Vermont. We're actually going to try something for the first time, where I'm going to be reporting live from Vermont Sci-Fi, and our co-host Angela is going to be joining us periodically from PAX East in Boston.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it'll be fun to check in, and we'll be figuring some things out. Angela is also interested in joining us for the TNIC PuchiCon in August.
Okay, great. I can't wait to see her virtually or in real life. Either way, it's fine.
Now, what are some of the things that fans can expect if this is their first time coming to PuchiCon? What are some of the things that they can expect to experience?
Yeah, so we always tend to have, especially with Dean, he tries to host a panel on what to expect for a convention. I know too, a lot of parents are, let's say, dragged by their kids, and they're like, "What is this?" We try to make it very welcoming to those who are new to the convention. We try to have panels that kind of talk to newcomers to know what to expect, to hydrate themselves, how to pace themselves, parents what to expect, and kind of immerse themselves. I've had parents walk to me and say, like, ever since coming to PuchiCon, like they feel like they've connected better with their children. They started cosplaying with them. For this PuchiCon, of course, there is panels having to I always take polls of what people enjoyed the most or want back. So we're definitely going to have a lot of screenings. We have Nozomi Entertainment sponsoring us. We're going to have karaoke. We're going to have cosplay panels. Our game shows panels are coming back from Brian Sapinski. Also does the panels. He also does his own game shows within there. But yeah, there's even Weeaboo Bingo. There's all those Genshin and My Hero Academia celebrities, and pretty much everyone who's popular right now coming, and they're going to be hosting panels as well, which we haven't announced yet. So you guys are like the first ones. Obviously, we have like a million Genshin characters. It's going to be a Genshin panel, obviously. And there's going to be tournaments, which we just announced for Mario Kart 8 and Smash. There's going to be a family room. There's going to so you could like do some crafts, like let's say like do a one of them was like, let's say, an All Might little headband or origami or something like that. And then we're also trying to see if we could get some more entertainment in there. We have a quiet room, so it's like a little bit of everything. You can relax when you need to relax. We have the mental health panels that I mentioned as well. We're trying to get, I think we have board game panels. We're just finalizing everything, so it's like for almost everything in pop culture, anime, gaming, video games, board games. There's like something for everyone there, and we're always very welcoming. There've been at Atlantic City, there was like an alarm go off, and one of our volunteers helped calm someone down who was having an anxiety attack. So we always try to make people feel comfortable, even if they don't. We kind of can sense it, especially like the volunteers. A lot of them, like Nikki, actually works like as a social worker too. So we try to have people either who do the panels or with our team that are like in psychiatry or social work, or I actually have a lot of teachers, which is funny, that are part of PuchiCon. Like Rosa, which is the director of operation, that she manages like all. She's also part of Tokyo Bronx. But everything to do with paperwork and legalizing things and the volunteers, she handles all that. She's a teacher. Brian's a teacher. I used to be a teacher. So we have like a lot of good minds, and people, like good-hearted people, like helping and, try to put everything together and make everyone happy and have a good time.
It's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. We've been very fortunate enough to have had on many convention promoters throughout New York, New England, and now Pennsylvania and New Jersey. And, I feel like the work that you guys do a lot of times don't really, like, fans go and enjoy themselves, and nobody knows about the work that goes on behind the scenes for 90% of the time unless something bad happens.
Mm-hmm. It's like that with everything in the world, right? People notice the bad, not the good.
And I want to take a moment just to thank you and your entire staff for the hard work that you do for putting on Puchi Con, not just in Pennsylvania but New Jersey. And you have, like you said, you have a wonderful team behind you that helps to support and put everything on. And without these people, the volunteers, the workers who are helping out 24/7, I mean, give the love out to those people, because they're going to catch more crap than love at these events. I swear.
I always try to tell them, and I think it's important for everyone, whether it be like someone you work with or, a loved one, friend, whatever. Like, just tell people that you appreciate them and, they mean a lot to you. Every day, you never know, what could happen or anything. And like I said, people do focus on mistakes people make or the bad. You should always, like, even with my daughter, like, praise people or give people the love and credit they deserve too. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. That's one thing that we like. One reason I started this show 8 years ago was to give back to the anime and Comic-Con community that helped me get through a messy divorce. I ended up finding a platform that I was able to, help me get through a lot of emotional turmoil, which I know happens immensely in the world of anime, video games, Comic-Cons. And a lot of us go to these events to seek some sort of refuge from everyday life, whatever trauma is, affecting us. And when I was presented the opportunity, granted I was doing paranormal talk radio at the time and happened to interview a voice actor, which gave me the idea of doing this show. And, it's being able to reach out to so many amazing people, whether it's the cosplayers we bring on, the artists, the comic creators, the voice actors, conventions, and getting to give the fans a chance to understand what goes on more behind the scenes. I mean, yes, everybody loves when we bring on, Anthony Bowling or Brianna Roberts or Monica Rial, but a lot of people don't only know them as their character that they hear them voice, not them as a person. And we love giving them a chance to connect with fans, so fans get to know the voice actor, not just the character. And with the cosplayers and the artists and stuff, a lot of these people are just, the artists are struggling in many cases trying to grow themselves, grow their brand. And when we find people who really stick out to us, I'm sure you're no stranger to, you go around and you collect a huge stack of business cards from everybody you can, because it's like, I remember this person and I loved this artwork and this one. And, unfortunately we do 4 shows a month, so I can't bring everybody on that I would love to bring on. But anybody who's watching this, if you're going to be at Puchi Con as a cosplayer or a vendor or things like that, come by the AZR table when we're set up. When we do go live, we would love to have people come by and talk about their costumes, talk about the products they're selling, things like that. We want to give them a chance to promote themselves on our channel to all the fans that watch us, and we have fans that watch us from all over the world.
Yeah, for sure. And if you need help, I could send out, let's say, a blast or email. We have a lot of artists and vendors that are coming to, that are starting out, that are really creative and amazing in their own right. You said that you also, talk to artists and such. And yeah, I could reach out to them too to see if they're interested before or after or during the con, because I'm all about paying it forward and helping. I'm one of the vendors or artists, one of the biggest customers. A lot of the art that we have are from conventions of my own, the New York Comic-Con, the one back there. But our whole house is full of artwork. We collect so much of it. We have to frame all of it.
like this piece here was the first art piece I ever bought at a convention.
Oh, wow.
and we became really, really good friends with the artist. Her name is Karen Goslin. She's out of New Hampshire. Since the purchase of this, I have purchased, I think we have 9 pieces of her art in the house. But, and with my wife being an artist herself, Karen is kind of a mentor to help my wife with her artwork, and my wife, being a seamstress, has helped Karen with her sewing.
Oh, that's a good relationship. Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have a small apartment, so we can't hang up all the artwork we have, because we have one of those big plastic totes that probably sits about that tall, that is 3/4 full of art that we've purchased from all the conventions. I cannot come back from a convention without buying something, whether it be a figure or art or something like that. I'm really bad about spending money at these things, but I'm a big supporter. Like you said, pay it forward. I love bringing people on this show to promote, to make connections. And it's amazing to see, how people have grown throughout the years. I think shortly after we first started, we reached out to a couple of unknown voice actors at the time. Data Live had just come out, so I reached out to Bryn April, who at the time I think Behind the Voice Actors had 4 named roles. And now Bryn has been in a ton of stuff. Same thing with Megan Shipman and Morgan Berry. And I think at last count, and Darren, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we were up to like the first official interview of like 15 voice actors, or maybe closer to 20 now. Darren is dead. 2.0.
Accurate, or good name. He's driving. Let's, wish him a safe trip wherever he's going.
I've been home for the past half hour.
I just wanted to make sure you hadn't fallen asleep there, sir.
Also, I was scrolling and this was the first anime picture that came up, so not Senko.
Oh, I know that's not Senko. That I know that's the fox god from DxD.
Kuno.
I can never remember her name. But Senko was another one of the cosplays that I was looking at doing if I had the time and the money, and I don't have the money to get both cosplays done. So Kobayashi took priority. And now with Puchi Con, as you said, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for some amazing photography. You said there's a water park at the resort. Is there a lot of outdoor areas for cosplay photography and things?
Yeah, and we're working on a pre-party. We're like finalizing things with the resort Friday, where there should be photography at 9 p.m. that Friday before the 13th. But yeah, it's in the Poconos. It's a beautiful landscape and it's huge. Like the ATV tour that we're doing, it goes there's like even, I don't know if you want to take a picture with bears if there's a cosplay, but there's deers and bears up there, and like it's basically on the mountain, so the landscape is beautiful if you just walk around a bit. It's a really nice area.
You say cosplay with bears, and is it bad that 2 animes came to mind?
Which ones? Because I can think of which one?
What do you got, Darren?
Oh, I was gonna say the one you were about to say.
Kuma Bear?
Bingo.
And the other one is New Game.
Because
in New Game Season 2, Alba creates a game where the main character dresses up in a bear outfit in the video game. So those were the 2 that came to mind with bear outfits.
Yeah, the only thing I could think about is Danganronpa, which we had the voice actor for. That little bear. Boop, 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 boop.
Oh yeah.
But that's not something you'll find in the wild, hopefully.
And I was trying to see if I actually had like a picture of Alba and her character that she made, because I have gone out and through our sponsor Home Circle Media had bought some actual officially licensed art books, They are fully in Japanese. I cannot read a single lick of it, but they are just amazing things. And I already know from the guests that have been announced that
Oh
there are a
wait,
couple of.
wait. Is that the one where they're creating a video game like a team?
Yep.
I think I did see that. There's so many. It's hard to
there's so
remember
many
all the
shows.
titles.
Years ago, we actually did a new game special where we had Bryn April, the voice of Nene, Michelle Rojas, the voice of her, and Megan Shipman, the voice of Alba, on to
nice.
talk exclusively about New Game for like an hour and a half. Since then, we've done like 6 or 7 more anime-related specials. But that was the one that kicked it off.
Yeah, that anime was cute. I liked when the one character would fall asleep at work all the time.
Oh, sleep under her desk?
Yeah,
sleep under her desk with no pants.
As I say, comfortably. And I think one of her co-workers found her. She's like, "Oh, what's going on?"
Oh yeah, Alba found her like 2nd or 3rd day on the job. It's like, oh
Yeah.
my god, you're my boss. You're sleeping in your underwear. What in the world is going? So that was a lot of fun. And in the chat room, Ross commenting on your picture, Darren, saying Kuno best fox girl in my top 10 DxD list.
You have good taste, sir.
And big thank you to everybody tuning in. Ross, I've seen your comments in the chat room. Jason Moulton, I hope you have a wonderful show on Wednesdays with the Xcast. For those of you who don't know, Jason Moulton hosts his own podcast called the Xcast. Jason is a good friend of ours. We've known him for years through Vermont Comic-Con. He retired from doing that, moved down to the Carolinas, and now doing his own podcast and looking at doing a horror convention.
Oh, nice.
Next year. So
just the wrong Carolinas, though.
Yeah. I know how much you love South Carolina.
Yeah. I love South Carolina yesterday. 50 miles of stop and go. On an interstate.
They get that in Philadelphia just for normal driving. And but awesome to see so many people tuning in. Big thank you to everybody for joining us on a very special Saturday night show here. I am so excited to be talking with Jennifer Perez from Puchi Con, the CEO, creator, brainchild of Puchi Con. She's got her rabbit ears on the chair in honor of
I've had some interviews with this. They're like, hey, what is that? I'm like, accept me or not. This is me. Luckily, my 9 to 5 thought it was cool. I told them, I always am honest. I'm like, on my side hustle, I do this. Sometimes it scares people because it's like it's gonna take me away, or they think it's weird. But these people, they're Germans. They actually thought it was cool. And the fun thing is that this has taught me a lot about marketing and event planning, which I also do in my 9 to 5. And I've learned from my 9 to 5s how to do marketing event. They both help each other, basically. I've learned a lot from both,
And this came in through the chat room from ProWave Gaming saying, looking forward to PuchiCon, everybody. Thank you, Miss Perez, for the opportunity. I wish you and your family continued success on this venture. Can't wait, guys.
You, ProWave. One of our newest vendors. Definitely check them out. Go to puchicon.com/PA vendors and TNIC vendors to check them out.
And definitely looking forward to meeting you guys down there, ProWave, at PuchiCon in Pennsylvania. As I've mentioned earlier, when we have the table set up, come on by, say hi. We'd love to get to meet everybody who's going to be down there. Want to meet all the cosplayers and everything. And no, I was curious. One thing that I love about conventions, and I'm really bad about, is charity auctions. Is that something that you do with PuchiCon?
Well, we have given back to charities, but we haven't done a charity auction. It's definitely something that would want to consider because we always try to give back in some fashion. Like we had the conventions when they were remote, and it was giving back to like the essential workers and such. But if you want to, give me more insight on that, I would be open to it.
And because me personally, I have a lot of stuff that I have won from charity auctions and a lot of stuff I've given to charity auctions.
Okay.
And one year, one year for Anime, their guest was Tia Ballard, and I won from their charity auction a Fairy Tale DVD Volume 3. I went on
nice.
a 4-year quest where I brought that DVD sleeve to every convention I went to that had voice actors, and by the time I was done, I think I had 15 different signatures
Oh, nice.
from people like Michaela Krantz, Jamie Markey, Tia Ballard. There was a lot of big names on this DVD, and I stopped watching Fairy Tale after about 120 something episodes. When with the shonens that are run so long, I lose interest.
I saw a few. I think I saw season 1 and 2, and that's it. It was a great show. It was really good.
we then, after acquiring all the autographs, and I kept documentation, which I put with the DVD sleeve of who signed it and what convention. So if there was ever any question of authenticity, they could look at that convention, see the guest list, and confirm, okay, yes, they were at that convention. This did get signed here, there. And we then donated it to Anime Boston's charity auction.
That's nice.
I think it was 2019, and I think that went for close to $400.
Dang! Wow, that's great.
And so it's like the little things like that, and a lot of the conventions around that I've gone to up in this area, they will pick a local charity, and they will get donations from sponsors. They will get donations from vendors, and it could be anything from DVDs to figures to. I've donated, guest spots and guest co-host spots for voice actor interviews here on the show multiple times, because before switching to YouTube, we would have a voice actor on for an hour. Now we're giving people the opportunity to be a guest co-host and talk to a voice actor from anime and video games for 2 hours, which most places, I don't know of any con that you can do that. No, you usually get like an hour panel, and you're there with hundreds or thousands of other attendees. You might get one question asked if you're lucky enough to get selected. And here we're giving somebody a chance to sit in with us for about 2 hours with a voice actor. And sometimes there's some banter before the show and after the show. So it's definitely, like I said before, I love giving back to the community. I love giving the fans a chance to connect with voice actors and vice versa. So being able to provide this, as a way to encourage people to continue enjoying the animes. And, I watch sub and dub. I know there's always the argument of which one's better. I like them both. Yes,
I watch a lot of dub now for my daughter.
I watch a lot of dub because that's how I find the guests to come on, because
that's true.
We haven't been able to get any international guests. I don't know, Darren, have you been able to find any Japanese guests to join us yet?
Not yet. After my contact in Japan had his accident, where 2 drag racers basically head-oned him, and ever since he got into the hospital and out of the hospital, I haven't really had contact with him, so no.
At some point it would be fun. I know Anime Boston a lot of times will bring in Japanese guests and stuff. This year, I'm not sure what they're going to be doing with the pandemic and all the travel restrictions and trying to get people in and out of Japan. I know has been a nightmare from a lot of the YouTubers that I watch that live in Japan. They've had a lot of crazy stuff they've had to do. So hoping that they get some more amazing guests for AB this year. Excited to have it back. Like I said, that's going to be 2 weeks after Puchi Con. We have a busy schedule coming up. As I tell people at work, the gauntlet has already started for us. We were at Wicked Comic-Con last weekend. Next weekend is another Sci-Fi Con. Three weeks after that, obviously, we're coming out to visit you at Puchi Con. 2 weeks after that's Anime Boston. In June, we have a convention in Vermont. July's Kineticon. August is Puchi Con and Teaneck. in the middle of all that, I work 60-hour work weeks between 2 jobs plus this, and
dang.
eventually I find time to sleep.
Yeah, I could throw in the whole mom and wife thing. That's another one. And the
Yeah.
nurse.
And I convey with the 60-hour a week, if not more.
Dang. I'm always doing Puchi Con stuff. Sometimes my husband has to help me. He's like, shut it off, relax, like chill. Like, because it doesn't feel like work, obviously, when it's your baby and you're doing something fun. But like, you also need time to like relax and spend time with your loved ones or meditate or do something else for a little bit, because it can consume you, all the time. Very
and
important.
you were talking about with the meditation and stuff like that. I remember one year that I was at Anime-Zing, they had Carrie Keranen as a guest, and she did a panel on meditation, which was, I'd never seen that at a convention before, and it was an amazing experience because I personally had never done meditation before that panel.
Yeah, Nikki Loba, which I mentioned, she does meditation in the panel, which was great. And I had even my daughter do it, which is really hard. And sometimes I get her to do yoga with me. And I've had yoga before in panels, but like it's, the kids want to bounce around and do all these other things. So I try to have things that are a little more, interactive for them. But it's definitely important to unwind and find time for yourself or with your loved ones or alone time. I think it's really, important. But just like everything is like ringing and blinging and, nowadays, and you're always connected to your phone. It's like part of your limbs right now. I try to more so like shut it off at 8. And like, I have a therapist that I speak to every once in a while. And like, I told him I sometimes put it far away where I know I'm too lazy to get it, like upstairs or something. And he said, that's fine, as long as like that helps you. Like he'll put his snacks like all the way in the basement, like chocolates, because he knows he won't get to it. So whatever helps you. I really think it's important to focus on yourself and relax, and it makes you better at your actual jobs or whatever you enjoy doing too.
Oh yeah, being a parent and having stuff like this is always, you try to. At this point, we all are juggling many hats, many jobs, whether it's parent, whether it's working day jobs or podcasting or conventions or things like that. As I mentioned before, a lot of admiration, a lot of respect to you for the job that you do. Everything I have seen working with Puchi Con thus far, and this is the first convention that we've ever sponsored.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot to me.
So it means a lot to us as well to be partnered with Puchi Con. We've worked with conventions in the past that things didn't work out very well for the convention, whether it be one thing or another. We've been honored enough to have press at multiple conventions, everything from Kineticon, now Anime Boston, to smaller cons like Northeast Comic Con, things of that nature. And building up a lot of good connections and friends in the community of, anime and comic cons and sci-fi cons and stuff of that nature. But I am so excited to be a part of this new adventure with Puchi Con, and I really hope that as long as I continue to do Anime-Zing Radio, I would love to continue the sponsorship and the partnership with Puchi.
Thank you. And I wanted to, now that you mentioned sponsorship, obviously you're a sponsor. I wanted to mention our sponsors too, if that's okay.
Oh yes, go ahead. I actually had pulled the sponsor page up to throw a shout out to everybody.
Yeah. So one of our sponsors for the longest time actually is Batten Ramen, which is like a little hole in the wall, which actually is grown curry shop here in Fort Lee, New Jersey. I actually just have like the tonkatsu curry and the dumplings and shrimp fried rice. I haven't had ramen yet, I know, but it's amazing. They actually donated all the food to my first like cosplay event, which was a cosplay masquerade back in 2016. So they donated all the food, and they're always donating gift cards to them. It's delicious. The guy who runs it, nice and kind. G Kids, they provide a lot of like swag and DVDs and photos and videos and bookmarks, everything you can imagine. Sentai Filmworks has helped us with screenings and also some swag. Obviously, you guys are promoting us and giving someone, opportunity to speak with a voice actor. USA Anime also gives us a lot of great swag, such as figures and keychains and bags and such. Tokyo Bronx ACG has also interviewed us, like you. And also, Rosa is the operations director who also works with Tokyo Bronx. And like I said, she volunteers a lot of her time helping us with the organization, and she's the volunteer coordinator, and she makes sure everything's running smoothly in the back. It's a lot of craziness, and she helps organize that. And then Crunchyroll as well. They actually provided, promo codes, which we still have some. We're probably going to give one for another stream for a 30-day free trial. And then Head Nerds in Charge, which is a podcast similar to you guys. We'll still be promoting us as well. Well, we're always open also to table swaps, if there's space permitted, and just cross promotion and like helping, one another out. We're always open to that. Everyone has to eat. Everyone has their own dreams and aspirations. So we appreciate you guys for having us on, and our sponsors and everyone else who supports us, who comes to the conventions, who volunteers. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for everyone. So thank you.
Oh, definitely. and like I said, it's the Puchi Con was the. And I'll give you a little insight to my thinking when I first saw the post. At first, when I saw the post looking for sponsorship, I almost scrolled past it, but something was like, no, you know what? 2022, you made the decision that you were going to really push the show hard. It's time to step out of your comfort zone, step out of the normal, take the chances, and start doing things you normally wouldn't do. Because people who have known me for years know that, like, when I was younger, I was very quiet, very shy. This is very much out of my comfort zone to do a podcast like this. Even though I've done it for years, it's still like I get nervous every show and things like that. The anxiety is always there and stuff. But I love to do it, and I love to connect people. And when I first saw that you were looking for a sponsorship, my first thought was like, well, we are a self-funded small show. Don't make any money on this right now. So it's not like I can't really sponsor financially like I would like to. But I do offer a couple of unique opportunities of, we love donating prizes to masquerades where the overall winner, as long as they're 18 plus, will be a featured guest on the show.
Okay.
So they will be our so it will be the full 2-hour featured guest who will get interviewed, a lot of back and forth banter. And then, of course, as you mentioned, we donated a prize to one lucky fan who will be able to join us for a full 2-hour show when we interview a voice actor. By the time Puchi Con comes around, I should have a couple of voice actors booked for June and July. So we will have a better understanding of who they would be able to choose from. But right now, June, July is still kind of wide open. Because a lot of people are figuring out convention schedules and things like that. Yeah. You know what it's like with talking with the voice actors, how to get things like that. And Ross, thank you. I don't think that's very true, but Ross says Doug is like Anya Forager. He's the key to world peace by connecting people.
Oh, that's cute.
Thank you so much, Ross. It means a lot to me. I just enjoy like getting to meet people, getting to learn about people, and I'm one of those people. I like to learn a little about everything because with the knowledge, I can provide a better quality show for our fans and give people, more of an understanding of what goes on behind the scenes, whether it's from, having been able to be a vendor at conventions, whether it's a sponsor of a convention, whether it's press or whatever. I think there's only 2 badges I haven't worn at a convention. One is volunteer and the other is a guest. And by being married to an artist, I understand what goes on behind the scenes of creating artwork. I understand the pricing and how much time it takes for art to be created and things of that nature. Having friends who vend, whether it be figures or whatever, I understand the setup and takedown and, keeping track of inventory and stuff. So, I feel it's very important to have an educated, conversation. Mm-hmm. Because granted, I've had guests on that I knew absolutely nothing about at the time, but I still wanted to bring them on, A, so I could learn about what they were offering, and, B, you don't know what friendships you're going to make until you start talking with people.
That's true.
and it's just a lot. It's a lot of fun to have the opportunity. I think anybody who does podcasting and has done it for a while can say, this is a labor of love. There is a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about. I have a ton of respect for people who work in radio, people who do podcasting multiple days a week and things of that nature. There's a lot more that goes into it than people realize. And especially for a while when I was a one-man show, I was booking the guests, promoting the show, doing everything with myself. Didn't even have a co-host before we brought Darren on a few years ago. I think we had like a 4 or 5 year stretch where I didn't have a co-host. And when you try to fill a 2-hour show by yourself, it can be kind of crazy.
That's how I started Puchi Con pretty much. I did everything and I was going insane. And it's hard, and I'm sure you understand, to trust someone, right, to do the responsibilities that you did and do it the same way you'd like it and well. So I'm lucky that, I pretty much have a good team like Rosa and Kai and the others that, they do an amazing job, and then I don't have to worry about it, Because before it's like, oh yeah, I'll do that for you. You do too much, and then they'll drop off the face of the earth or something would happen. I'm like, oh God, and I would have to create like a vendor map, like actually on my way to the con or something because it wasn't created or things like that. So yeah, it's good too because like you, I've learned so much because I'm like one of those say like the Jane of all trades. I know a little bit of everything. And you have to, and it's kind of good because you're very versatile in that way. But I'm not a master, as they say. I know like a little bit of everything.
Jack or Jane of all trades, master of none.
Exactly.
dip your fingers in a little bit of everything, so if something comes up, you have a basic knowledge.
Yeah,
but
you get through with it.
you can put the Band-Aid on the cut and wait for the professionals to show up.
Exactly. It's just like when I cook. It might not be aesthetically pleasing, but it's delicious. Like it'll get, it'll work at the end.
That's what my wife says too. She's like, it may not look good, but it tastes amazing. It's like, I don't care what it looks like as long as it tastes good. That's the important thing.
Yeah, and then my husband sees the mess I left in the kitchen. I'm like, it's good though, right? Because whoever cooks, the other one cleans. And he cooks, and he's actually a really good cook too. So we both go 50-50 on that.
I can microwave stuff. I think that's about the extent of my cooking. I grill.
It's not too hard. After a while, you just do things by eye. Like, like before I used to measure things. Now you just know, right? Like how much salt, how much pepper. And I do like Italian, I do Japanese, I do Cuban food, I do American food. I try to do like a little bit of everything.
And what are some of the vendors? Let's give a chance to get a shout out to some of the vendors.
And one thing that I'm proud of, and I think is awesome about the con, is we have a lot of artists, more so than any other convention I've seen. We have more artists than the artist alley is bigger, basically, than the vendor hall at almost every one of our conventions. Let me go to it. Let me see. So for PA, we have Dressy Deer, which is an artist. She did actually a really cute Sonic the Hedgehog and Tails cartoon, which was adorable recently. Steve, we have Adventures for All, which also goes by Susan Vengeance, Maddie, Valentin Artist Alley, The Killer Goddess Club, Brian Lacey Art, Shop Absolute, Dulahan Designs, Starving Otaku, Raggedy Ari, Kirby Drawer, Sea Art, Storycraft, Plush Rumpus. So even though there's art traditionally, obviously, there's plushies, people that make plushies and keychains and other things. Chibicabra, Gummy, Sketchpack Creations, Maiden in the Machine, Hamilton Creation, The Ego Man, Butterflies in Space, Swinsona Designs. I buy a lot of artwork from Swinsona, by the way. He has a very unique style to him. Icarus Metro Comics, Donut Doodles, Vandalverse, Hannah Ray Art, Venice, Unicorn Massacres, Ray, Chaotic Art, Viper's Art, Bubble Jar Art, Storycraft, Still Alive Studio, Gummy Shop, Noodle Crafts, which is also the cosplay judge, And then for vendors, we have JP USA, which sells a lot of like plushies and figures and such. Maniac for Bricks, primarily Lego figures and such. Days Off, Stay Off, which is a clothing brand. We also have our cosplay repair studio there. Pro Wave Gaming, which was here. I don't know if they're still there, but they do like a lot of gaming accessories and such, and little pins and clothes and stuff. What do you call it? We also, as I said, we table swap. So we have SetsuCon coming, we have DerpyCon coming, and then we'll be tabling also at their con. The Floating Lantern, Allison Burbs, which she is one of the cosplay guests as well. You see some of her cosplays.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be at PAX. If you guys want to stop by and say hello if you see her. Let me see who else. Where was I? We have Tamalin cosplay, which is also a judge. That might be. I don't know if it's 18 plus, right? Torihime cosplay, Cemetery cosplay, and I'll go back to Torihime. Let me see. Where was I? Yes, G10 Studios, which they do a lot of 3D design. Hall of Heroes, which is a comic shop. This shop, I was looking for comic book shops in the area of Tannersville because I'm not in the area. So I kind of did like a trade where I sent them flyers, which I do with other little shops that help us out for a free table. So I do swap like that too. Like if anyone lets us promote, I'll offer them a free table. Like if they're like a little store or anime store or comic store. When we have, let me see, Anime Extra, which they do a lot of anime inspired gaming and waifu type art and clothes and accessories and mouse pads. And then we have Lloyd Floyd, Liberium Studios, you of course, One Toy Stop, which has a bunch of figures and anime plushies and things like that, and the 9 mystery voice actors, because not all of them have been, announced, that will be tabling at the con as well.
And big hats off to those who are going to be setting up with tables and everything. Wanted to make sure I scrolled through all of the names here, so they all got some promotions here on the show. If you are interested in finding out more about them, you can go to puchicon.com, click on the vendors tab, and find out, if you want to see what each vendor has, what each artist has. Starving Otaku caught my eye just by the name. I love the studio name for Starving Otaku because I think so many of us fit the bill.
Cup of noodles, right? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Pretty much. It's like, all right, we're going... Basically, just using some ramen now for this con, and so many people going to conventions. I know that I think Kineticon last year was our first convention back, and they moved it from July to, I think it was September last year. They had a huge guest list. We went, knowing that we had some money, but not a ton of money. And a big thank you to Darren for helping us out with having a little bit more of fun spending money. We ended up getting way too many autographs from voice actors with networking and stuff. Which I won't lie, there's a lot of voice actors that have been announced for PuchiCon already that I can't wait to meet and get autographs from. So excited about that. And, definitely thank you again so much for coming on and joining us. It's been so much fun to connect and finally get to meet you face to face, granted virtually, but
no, it's so much better than sharing links and talking online. It's a way different experience, of course. Actually getting to know someone rather than just a social media page, which I think that's just look at someone's social media or like you said, like an actor, you just see him as like, I don't know, this entity, not a person, right?
Oh yeah.
This page out in the web somewhere that you're talking to.
And Pro Wave Gaming sends a virtual hug.
Aw, thank you. Abrazos.
And really looking forward to seeing all of these amazing artists and vendors, and I'm curious to see what I walk away from PuchiCon with, because I know I'm gonna, even though I don't have a ton of money to spend, I am going to budget some money because I am very bad about buying figures. Granted, the way that the camera is set up right now, you can't see all the figures, but behind me is like some pop figures of the We Bear Bears, because my daughter loved that show.
Got so many.
I've got.
Has she seen the Baby Bears? The Baby Bears version?
I think she had started to watch something like that. If I can turn the camera monitor and raise the camera up here, let's see. That's a whole shelf of anime characters.
Okay.
We have a whole cabinet in the kitchen that is top to bottom anime figures, and we like our anime stuff in this house.
Yeah, that's definitely what we need more space of, just like places to put all the figures that we have. Like some of them are still in boxes, well, to preserve, and then some we had to put away in boxes because it was just like overtaking the entire house. I don't know if I can move the camera. Well, that's my Animal Crossing map, but there we go.
I was playing Animal Crossing about an hour before the show.
Oh, really? That Animal Crossing got my family and I through the pandemic.
It helped us too.
Yeah,
I think it helped a lot of people through the pandemic. The timing of that was so perfect.
They made
like,
okay. No, but it did, and like I did my daughter's kindergarten graduation through there. I celebrated. Through there. I determined it's a really great way to connect with everybody. Like I had my friends and my family I hadn't seen in months come to my island, and when they would leave, I would cry. Like if they were leaving my house, I'm like, what's wrong with me? This is a video game, and I was like attached to them, like coming to see me.
Oh yeah.
So, but well, fishing, I got to go on the beach, which I couldn't do. So it was a really great way to feel like you're out there, even though you were inside, and connect with your friends and especially like I said, for my daughter, who she couldn't see her friends, she got to have them virtually in the game and celebrate the graduation together. And her birthday, they would come and give her presents, virtual little animal prezzies. And the villagers are so cute when it's your birthday. Obviously, like they dance around.
Oh yeah.
To a little party. So yeah, it's now Animal Crossing, Super Mario World, and Condemned are like my 3 favorite. And Aladdin, I would say. My 4 favorite games I could think of from the top of my head.
The 2 that I'm addicted to lately just got took a long break from Animal Crossing, decided to restart the island recently for like the 4th time. Took a long break because I was into Minecraft for a while, then fell out of that, really got into Pokemon Arceus Legends.
Okay.
Which is the open world, which is basically the open world Pokemon game that I can honestly say it's the best Pokemon game I have ever played.
Oh wow! Okay, we should check that out. I know my husband's playing Eden, whatever. Eden Scroll. What the heck it's called? You know what I'm talking about. Right? The Eden one.
Yep.
My mind ever since the pandemic, and I know SNL's make. My memory is so bad. I don't know what it did to it, but it's like worse than ever. But yeah, that's where he's. And I played Security Breach with my daughter and streamed it like twice. I have to try that again. I don't know if you played Five Nights at Freddy's. It's really.
I have not. I've heard of it, but unfortunately, my computer does not have a video card, so a lot of video games I cannot play. Unfortunately, okay. And Ross in the chat room says, speaking of anime, they just announced a season 2 for Another World with my smartphone.
Oh, nice.
I'm excited about. I'm one of those weird people that really enjoyed that anime. Yes, it's your traditional blah isekai, very predictable. You could kind of figure out everything that was going to happen. But at the same time, at the time that it came out, it was different in the way that he was able to use his smartphone to come up with ideas in a new world, things of that nature. Plus, it was fun, mindless entertainment. and it didn't make you think. It was also my introduction to Marissa Lenti's work, where she was the Little White Tiger. And Darren, I see you want to chime in about smartphone.
Not really. I was just waiting to see if anything would come up where I would.
Also, I will. Granted, with my new work schedule, I'm trying to figure out when to watch anime. I have started a couple of shows from the spring season. I did start watching Date Alive season 4, and I started watching RPG, the real estate show, which you kind of figured that I was going to do that. And then there was another one that I started called Trapped in a Dating Sim. Which that one I watched, like, I think I watched one episode and was like, I'm not sure what to think of this one. Or maybe I watched 2 episodes and wasn't sure what to think of it.
There's a new one that I think we're 3 or 4 episodes in called Shadow's House, which is pretty unique. It's kind of like a mystery. For some reason, it gives me a Promised Neverland vibe. I don't know why, but there's this house that it's shadow people, and then they have a doll, which is like their human-like version of them. So they control the doll, so they have like a human version. But there's like a lot of secrets, like what the hell's going on, type of thing. Like there's something creepy happening. Like what, there's a lot of secrets. Like don't go through that door. Don't go in that hallway. Oh, the great grandfather. What is he about? He makes all the dolls. Like what's his story, type of thing. So that one's easy. And then Spy Family. That one's really cute.
That I have been told I need to watch Spy Family. It's on my radar. I just have not had a chance to sit down and start watching that one yet. Again, with the 4 days a week, I work from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. So it's cut back on the amount of time I've had to watch anime. And then with a lot of traveling recently, that cut back too. But I did watch quite a bit this weekend. Probably watch some more shows tomorrow if I can before we go on the air. And for you out there who's watching, big thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight. Tomorrow night for our regularly scheduled Sunday night show, we're going to be welcoming Devira Kai from Big Bucks Entertainment. Big Bucks Entertainment is getting ready to celebrate their 10-year anniversary of putting on game shows at conventions. Things like Press Your Luck and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. They have the big board that they bring with them for Press Your Luck. Really impressive setup that they have. I've seen a couple of their shows. Devira himself has appeared on game shows like Wheel of Fortune and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the actual TV shows themselves. So he's been a contestant. He's a huge game show fanatic and a very, very talented cosplayer. He's been a guest on the show many times. So we are really excited to welcome him back. Looking ahead, April 24th. Next weekend, we are not going to have a Sunday night show because we're going to be at Vermont Sci-Fi and Comic Expo, or Sci-Fi and Fantasy Expo. We are going to be doing live broadcasts both Saturday and Sunday from the convention. And so we're probably going to be tired from all the traveling and things like that. So we're going to take next Sunday night off to relax. But we are going to try to simulcast live feeds from Vermont Sci-Fi and from PAX East when Angela is able to join us. She's going to be at PAX East. So if you're in the Boston area, you want to go check out a really, really awesome gaming con, check out PAX East. Angela's going to be working as an enforcer for some of the time. She does know her schedule, so she will be able to join us between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. to do some live feeds through StreamYard on her phone. So it's going to be a lot of fun for that. And then looking ahead into May, we have May 1st. We're going to be bringing on cosplayer Lilith Fernandez. Unfortunately, when we did our cosplayer roundtable, she had technical issues and weren't able to join us. So we are excited that she's able to come back for May 1st. May 8th, we're going to be welcoming our friends from HB Comics. Awesome group of guys, big into the world of RPGs, Dungeons and Dragons, things like that. And they've taken their experiences from that and put it in comic book form, which I thought was really cool. So we're going to be checking out more of the stuff that they've done when they come on with us. Of course, no show May 15th at night, no 8 p.m. show for that Sunday, because we will be live from Puchi Con all weekend. For May 14th and 15th, we're going to be doing more live broadcasts, possibly do some interviews with passing by cosplayers, other vendors, voice actors if they want to come and sit with us for a few minutes. May 22nd, we have wide open currently, looking for a guest for that. And then May 29th, of course, Memorial Day weekend, we will be at Anime Boston covering its press. So no show on May 29th for our normal 8 p.m. show, because we will be traveling back from Massachusetts, and that's going to be about a 5.5 hour drive. I think it's going to be just about as long coming back from PuchiCon as it is Anime Boston.
Oh, dang, really? Is that far? I'm sorry.
I just drove 5 hours for a 1-day convention last weekend. So when you're committed to the craft, these drives mean nothing outside of, as long as you have fun and make it worth it, which from everything I've seen from the events that PuchiCon has put on in the past, I don't think we're going to be disappointed at all.
Thank you. I hope not either. We're all working really hard to try to make it as fun as possible. And like I said, we always listen to feedback. We take polls. We ask questions. We're always trying to get in tune what's, hot. And I'm a big otaku, weeb, whatever myself. So, it's not like just someone orchestrating from the scenes who, is not really into the culture or anything. I've been following since like 2000, actually 2000. But then my aunt used to show me Speed Racer as a kid. So, you want to backdate that?
I grew up watching Speed Racer, but didn't know what anime was. Pokemon, didn't know what anime was. It wasn't until Inuyasha that I was really introduced to the world of anime, and I think my friend who introduced me to that has regretted it ever since, because I didn't look back.
Vampire Hunter D was when I started watching, and my ex like those really dark ones. I watch a little bit of everything, like slice of life, mystery, drama, everything, action.
Do you like isekai?
Yeah. I'm watching Shield Hero now again, which is back. And ReZero is one of my favorite animes too, and I love Ren. Like, I have so many figures of her and like paintings and stuff everywhere. Best girl forever.
Because Darren and I we consider ourselves isekai trash.
Oh, okay.
Because we watch a ton of isekai. Angela, who couldn't join us tonight, does not really watch much in the way of isekai. Which it's fun to bring. We've just recently brought her on as a co-host for the show. She watches a lot of different stuff from what Darren and I watch. And she also brings a different perspective to the world, because Darren, you and I have argued over Best Girl from Date Alive for years, since season 3, and she just laughs at us now.
Mm-hmm. But we all know Kurumi is best.
No, not to me. Although I don't know, there could be some runs for the money with some of the new spirits coming in season 4, from what I've seen. But it's funny. That's how you poke Darren to see if he's still awake. Tell him that Natsumi's overrated, or nobody likes DXD, or things of that nature. And if he chimes up, he's awake.
He's like, what?
And we do have fun on the show here. We do have we poke back and forth. Fun fact: Darren and I have never met in person.
Oh my God! Really?
We've been so lucky to have him as a co-host and a part of the show for the last couple of years. I think almost 3 years now.
Wow, how time flies!
Because you were with us for over a year before Anime Boston 2020, when the pandemic happened, and we were supposed to meet there for AB 2020, and then pandemic hit, AB was canceled, and the rest is history. So now we got to figure out when we can get him apart. Maybe we can somehow get you to take some time off in August and come up to New Jersey. That could be a wild weekend if we got you, me, and Angela for a convention.
Oh my.
Puchi Con, let's go.
Angela's already expressed interest and said she could make Puchi Con in New Jersey. It's on my list of cons that I will attend. So now we're just waiting for Darren. But I know you have that busy schedule. You would have to try to rearrange for a weekend.
Yes, and scheduling lawn maintenance clients is another thing. So.
I'm sure. I hope you guys meet soon. Be a very joyous occasion, I bet.
Oh yeah, we'll have fun. And before we run out of time here, we want to give you, of course, a chance to promote yourself, promote the convention. You yourself as a cosplayer as well. You've sent out the cosplay page that we shared as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the easiest way, actually Kai, who's the guest relations manager, suggested that I do a link tree. And I think that's the easiest way because there's so much that we're on. So if you go to link, and I'm putting it on YouTube too, linktree.com/PuchiCon, you can basically be connected with everything.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can follow us on Discord there, on Twitter, Facebook, fill out applications, book your room, join the tournament, buy merch, everything you want to see, is there basically. If you're a fan or want to be a fan or learn more of us, or go to puchicon.com and navigate your way there. That's another way.
And definitely you've got to check out puchicon.com. Really, really cool website. They've got some awesome photos of the events that they've had in the past. And as you said, you've got all sorts of events going on, from cosplay to panels of all types. I know that we had put in for doing a podcasting panel for people who might be interested in getting into the world of podcasting.
I'll do a special treat for you guys. I'll tell you what's in the panels because I actually have the schedule. Hasn't been announced. And hopefully the director doesn't get mad at me. No, but we're going to announce it soon. It hasn't been published anywhere. But he actually shared it with me. Let me see. So of course, like I mentioned, Saturday there's going to be Con Survival 101 at 11 a.m. with Dean, for the newcomers. I'm sure he'll talk about, packing water, deodorant, treats, whatnot, how to get by. We have a Nigasaki Idol Fest. We have a 3DS tribute at that time. We have Chippendale Rescue Rangers then and now, if you're like old
Oh my
school.
God.
I know, right?
It's like, okay, that just went back to my youth.
Cosplay and Confidence. The Saga of the Shining Emblem, which is a really cool panel. It's basically like an interactive panel where you actually get to be a part of it and kind of act and such. I haven't attended it yet because I'm always doing stuff, but I really want to when I have free time. That's the unfortunate thing. You can't enjoy it as much. I try to peek in the panels here and there, but then I'm usually pulled. But yeah, definitely check that out. There's Cosplay Management 101, your first trip to Japan to kind of know what to expect, where to go, what to see. Guess that anime song. We have MLP sing-along for the bronies out there. Tavern Shenanigans. The 25,000 Pyramid with Brian Sapinski that I mentioned before, if you're into game shows. Battle of the Bands card game tournament. Inspirational, uplifting moments in anime. We have karaoke. Weeaboo Bingo. I'm a huge bingo fan. I know people, and like my husband wins like almost every match. We love bingo. I actually did some virtual, so you can have a Weeaboo style bingo. Then of course we have the Masquerade at Night. We have the Making of the Stereotans, Comic Book Rock, Asian Cooking Secrets with Lloyd Floyd, Anime-Zing Radio Live, of course, coming up Saturday night. We also have Cosplay Just Dance. And then we also have Oh, you how to get isekai. There you go. And you're gonna want to be in that panel. So you've guides presents how to get isekai. So if you want to travel to another world, that's the panel that'll teach you the secrets. Cosplay Joy and V Hour, PowerPoint karaoke, swim up comedy. Let me see what else. And then my daughter earlier that day is gonna do the learn to draw chibi art. All ages panel. It's welcome for everybody. I'm sure like I'll learn something sitting there. And then on Sunday, we have Power of Interactive Content with all ages of geek. How to submit to agency and studio. So if you want to become a voice actor, that's a very helpful panel. Kigurumi, that creepy mask cosplay and what makes it so beautiful. Podcasting 101, bad anime descriptions, look good and feel good for cosplay, the history of anime opening and closing, celebrity family feud, cosplay for mental health, Joker in his own words with Lloyd Floyd, Full Metal Alchemy, crossplay and gender bend 101, and then we have more screenings and karaoke. We have also screenings the day before, but that's pretty much it. We might add or change or fine tune. Nothing's like in stone ever, as you know. I've had conventions, things people don't know behind the scenes. Literally the day of a panel, someone will cancel, or the night before, so you have to like scramble, find new content. Or I know some conventions just like have it as a free room, but like I just sent a blast to everyone. Hey, you guys have another panel up your sleeve? We need to fill this slot. Someone had an emergency. So crazy stuff goes down. So hopefully this will be there. Maybe we'll have more, maybe different, but pretty much along the lines of that. And the gaming tournaments too.
Oh yeah. And it's going to be a lot of fun to broadcast live from Puchi Con. It'll be for the convention next weekend. We're just going to be broadcasting from our table. We don't have a panel set up. Puchi Con will be our first live broadcast in front of a studio audience in a panel setting. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and definitely.
And the Maid Cafe is going to be there too. I forgot to mention them. Milk Pink Maid Cafe. They're also at the Fan Expo. So definitely check them out.
I definitely kind of want to check out the Maid Cafe if I can sneak away from the table for a bit and check out.
Yeah, out of everything, and it's my own convention, I felt like so comfortable there. Like I could literally hang out at their cafe for hours and just chill and relax and eat and just watch people dance. It's a very happy, peaceful, like fun atmosphere. So, and my daughter will just stay there for hours too, just hang out. She has like her own little special corner that she hangs out, like because like there's like she always wanted to be in the Maid Cafe that my friend Ari, who runs it, she's like, look, this is gonna be your table from now on. Just sit here, and then everyone else can come and go as they please, but you can just chill at this table. And then she'll dance with them and like interact with them. So it's a lot of fun. Definitely check them out.
I wish they had stuff like that up here.
Well, maybe one day. My dream too. I have big dreams of actually having like my own convention center or like hotel resort like cosplay thing and travel and having like basically this convention all over the place. But we definitely have to grow. And I've talked to like small business bureaus to kind of give me an insight all that needs to go in there to make that happen financially and like organization. So it's definitely growing. Anime is booming like crazy. So you're in the right industry right now. Everyone who's in right industry right now, I got insider tips that's like every year it's like 20%. Like it's getting way more popular now in the States, and it's like a booming economy right now. So if you're into anime or merch or art with anime or do conventions, you're good. We could all, be successful and happy in this realm now. Not be outcast anymore, I guess.
and I was talking with a friend of mine last weekend out in Boston who was like, do you realize that when you started the show 8 years ago, you got in just before anime spiked? Because it was still kind of growing thanks to like Adult Swim and things like that, but it didn't really get as mainstream until shortly after 2014, 2015, 2016, they started hitting, home runs with these big shows. And, next thing you knew, Fairy Tail was everywhere. My Hero Academia is everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
One Piece, Naruto, Dragon Ball, all these shows that have been around forever continued to take off with a new generation of fandoms. And, parents have their kids watching shows that they watched when they were kids. And it's amazing to see how it has grown over, just the 8 years of doing this show. And I jokingly, when I bring on I call them fresh faces in the voice acting world. I call them the next generation of voice actors. And it's people, you think of voice acting from way back when, and you think of like Richard Cox as the voice of Inuyasha, or Todd Haberkorn is well established, J. Michael Tatum, Monica Rial, Brittany Karbowski. Like these are kings and queens of the anime voice acting world. Everybody knows them, and they're a high, they're highly requested. And then we find people like Brianna Roberts, Kylie Stewart, Emmy Lowe, Giovanni Cruz, who are, they do some really amazing voice acting work, but nobody knows them because they've only had a handful of roles. And like Giovanni Cruz is more known for being an actress in movies than she is in voice acting. Because she was in Suicide Squad last year.
Okay.
And she voiced it. I discovered her thanks to Back to Show by Rock, Masha Mairesh. She voiced Himiko in that, and if I can find the picture of Himiko, and but this is Himiko from Show by Rock, Masha Mairesh. Adorable character. Her singing voice like floored me. And Show by Rock, all except for Show by Rock Star, seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Show by Rock have been dubbed in English, including the songs. It's a very music-based anime, which is when you were talking about some of the shows you like, the feel-good, teamwork and people with ailments or whatever the case may be. Show by Rock it hits all the right notes. And, and I say that kind of jokingly because it's music-based and it shows how you develop friendships from people from all over the world and even other worlds. As far as what animal she is, I am not 100% sure because I know Haon is a wolf. I want to say Himiko might be like a panther type because of the tail.
Okay.
It's kind of a longer, narrow tail and stuff. Haon was a white fox.
Oh, cute.
Delmine, I'm not sure, but she shoots a beam out of her head, basically from between her horns. And then, of course, you have Ryuyu, who is a wolf and one of the most adorable characters in the franchise. And I don't just say that because we had Lindsay Shepard on the show. Fun fact
I haven't seen yet, anime-wise.
A fun little fact, our last show on Blog Talk before we said goodbye to them permanently, we did a Show by Rock Masha Mairesh special where we were very lucky enough to have all 4 of the voice actors of the band Masha Mairesh. So Giovanni Cruz, Emmy Lowe, Macy Ann Johnson, and Lindsay Shepard joined us for the Masha Mairesh special. And we were able to bring on Megan Shipman, who directed the show. So that was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Just because I love this show so much. And, big hats off. A big thank you again to our friend Justin Hamburg, who got me Emmy Lowe's autograph of Delmine. Which...
Yeah, shoot me the name of that. I think that's something my daughter would like, too, because she loves,
it's all ages.
And, a lot of the HoloLive VTubers, they do a lot of, concerts and singing, so she's, all about that stuff.
Oh, yeah, I will definitely send you the name of it. Like I said, it's Show by Rock. I have the art book for seasons 1 and 2.
Okay, I'll look it up. Easy enough to remember.
And I'm sure you...
My husband, some of the animes we're talking about, to look them up later.
And so very, very excited about
Christopher Sabat's in it. That's funny. Okay. All Might is in this. Who does he play?
Sabbath is
I say something. Okay.
So Christopher Sabat is, I think, one of the voices in the band Shingun Crimson, which is an all-boy band. Season 1, you have Plasmagica, Shingun Crimson, Zuri Zuri, which is my wife's favorite band because of Daro Dayu, who's just absolutely adorable. Kriti Krista, which was one of my introductions to voice actress Michaela Krantz. And there's a few other bands that all come together, and the storyline is amazing. And then Show by Rock Masha Maresh came out, and I found Masha Maresh and was like, okay, this band is better than Plasmagica. My opinion, don't shoot me if you're a fan of like Cyan and stuff, but definitely a good show, a very family friendly show. Minus some battle scenes that, if kids get scared easy, they might get scared from some of the enemies that show up, but really very family friendly show. Like my 4-year-old enjoyed it. My 10-year-old loved the series. And seasons 1, 2, and 3, even the songs are English dubbed. Season 4, they didn't get permission, which made me sad, but you get to hear all these voice actors singing these songs. So
nice. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely look it up. If she likes Bendy and Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm sure that one.
If you like Love Live or K-On! Or basically any of the music-based animes, Show by Rock is going to fit right in there. Plus, it's got the isekai side of things, adorable characters in chibi form when they're performing their concerts and stuff. Your daughter
especially
will love
the chibi stuff. I'm sure she's gonna love.
like I had shown you the picture earlier of Retore. She's from the chibi form that was on the back. That's how the whole band shows up. Monica Rial is the drummer of the band. So like the main girls they had like big name voice actors for, with Bryn April as Cyan and Caitlin Glass and Monica, and I forget who voiced Choo Choo because nobody in my house really liked her. It's like the only bunny girl my wife doesn't like. But I just heard the clock go off, which means we are out of time. My God, these 2 hours
That's
flew by.
Okay, because I need to take medicine and go to bed. So I'm like getting delirious.
But thank you so much for joining us tonight. It has been such a pleasure.
Too. I know he's coughing. Hope you feel better.
So until tomorrow night, when we welcome Devira Kai onto the show, talking about Big Bucks Entertainment and helping him celebrate 10 years. A big thank you once again to Puchi Con and Jennifer Perez for joining us. It has been an honor and a pleasure to chat with you finally in person.
Well, thank you. It's been a lot of fun. It got me energy, even though I feel dead inside. Not mostly, but physically, because
it's a lot of work. So
and I have like a really bad virus, which the doctor has no idea, but it's nothing detectable out of everything. So
until tomorrow.
But thank you so much again. I really appreciate you guys, and I can't wait to meet you in person, and you one day too, Darren, and everyone watching.
Until tomorrow night when we welcome Devira, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of the weekend. Happy Easter tomorrow for all of you who celebrate. And definitely, we're going to have more fun tomorrow night right here on Anime-Zing Radio.